Why did it drop again? It keeps dropping. I apologize to everybody for the yeah, it's just a split-second drop. Huh, that's strange. Alright, I'll try and fix that or something for the future. Alright, so 2 games down right now, and Western Wolves are going to be winning it at this point. I don't mean like winning overall, but winning at the current point. With the up 2-0, I should actually change that title. Excuse me. Come here. Figure 2. There we go. Western Wolves up 2-0. If we check in, who is our next player going to be? For Game 3, who do you think Born Gosu is going to throw up? Who do they have to defeat the almighty Zictomini?
I don't know who they have.
I'll tell you who they're going to throw up. IGS Ode Sax. Man, that is a hard name to pronounce. It is a Terran, though, so it looks like they're going to go ahead and try and, you know, say maybe his ZVT is his worst. You know, everybody's got a terrible matchup. Maybe it's going to be his ZVT. What is... I'm going to have to wait to see his name once again. That is a tough name. We'll have to come up with a nickname for him. Unless you can just read it, pronounce it better. So, recently I was doing like a shout out, and somebody's name was Turbo Tony, but I called him Turbotany, something like that. I just couldn't like read the name for the life of me. So maybe I'm doing the same exact thing right here.
Oh.
Let's see. This is going to be Zictomini. We got to invert this. And plus that, so 2-0 in favor of Western Wolves. And the map is Ohana, it looks like. GSL Ohana. That all looks good to me right there. And just like we're analyzing all of these replays, feel free to check out SC2 Gears, where you can replay or analyze replays of your own, which of course is one of the biggest keys to getting better. Speaking of getting better, Next Level SC2 has some great educational videos that you should go check out. Help you out, some top players playing, teaching you some things, as well as giving you some great decision making, which is probably one of the most important keys to getting better. Alright, and I think I have everything ready and set, if you do.
I do.
Alright, Tina Fey. You can go ahead and get into the game here. In 3, 2, 1, go. So, Zictomini of Western Wolves down in the bottom right corner, up 2-0 so far in this best of 7, King of the Hill style. And he's going to be facing off against the Terran IGS Ode Sax up in the top left corner. And please tell me if there is some other way to read this.
Sod Sax.
Sod Sax? Ig Sod Sax?
I think
Is
so.
it just Sod Sax? We're calling him Sod Sax from now on. Good call, good call. So, TVZ... Will Zictomini have it in him to take it down? Or is Terran, his ZVT, is that his weakness? Is he going to fall there? I don't know. We'll have to watch.
Yeah, and we're going to have to actually watch which part of Terran is he potentially weak against. You know, mech or bio, because Ohana's a pretty good mech map, so that could be something on Sod Sax's mind.
Very, very true. But first off, we have to see, is he even going to start with what I would like to see out of Sod Sax is a command center first. Simply because, because of the stature and level of Zictomini, because of how quality of a player he is, he wouldn't throw a game away with a 6 pool. In my opinion, that's nothing that he would attempt, especially never playing Sod Sax before. and not having another chance to play him in the future if he does lose. So I would say command center first all the way, but it looks like he's going to be going for that barracks first. And will he grab a gas right now? Does not look like it. So most likely going for a 1-racks FE at this point, though of course he could try and throw down a second rack somewhere.
Or an additional 3, and then just all in them.
True.
Sparta style.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Or an additional 6 and just go for the 7 racks all in.
Yeah, it's Steeler style.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish people did that. I actually did see that actually, but it was a follow-up to a 2 racks, so it doesn't really count.
That doesn't count. That's just
Yeah.
following up to a 2 racks.
With 5 additional barracks.
With 5 additional barracks. It
Standard.
happens. It happens. It's standard play. Exactly. So the SCV going to start heading out now, and he's going to go ahead and head over for a scout as well. A little bit of a late scout, but once again, when you're playing against Zictomini, you don't really expect for him to be going for any sort of early cheese against you, because there's, in his mind, Zictomini should win more times in a macro game. So he's going to try and play to his advantage right there.
That's true. And if I was thinking that, I'd be like, well, time to all in then, because for sure he's going to beat me in a macro game. But, that's just me, and I'll get anything for a win.
Very true. That is what the ladder is for, at least.
Actually, I've never cheesed on ladder, so I'm a complete liar.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
man. Welcome to like a quarter of my games. A lot of the time it's reactionary cheese, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I don't think I've ever done that. But we're going to have 2 gases up right now, so we could be going up to that really popular Hellion Banshee Harass style, which is really cool to watch.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's great to watch in 2 ways. One, it's great to watch from the Terran's perspective because you get to see all of the great micro that they get to do, just all the ways that they can kind of trick their opponent with the Hellions running one way, the Banshees going the other, and then if they get Cloak in that, that's even more tricky that they can add. But then it's also great to watch from the Zerg perspective because if you have a great Zerg, he can just completely shut it down so quickly, which you just don't see too often. Or like it completely getting shut down. You don't see it too much at like, a Masters or lower level. But when they're up at this sort of level of play, it can just be beautiful to watch, just like watching art being made.
Well, I definitely, I know where you're coming from. I've done this build a few times, and there has been at least one person who has just completely shut it down, and I was like, what? This shouldn't happen. But
yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it is really cool to watch when I do that. And then that's really up to Sodsax to being like, all right, this isn't going to work, cancel Cloak if you can, and then switch over to go ahead and go into like a Marine style or bio play or that mech play and just, quit while you're, well, not ahead, but before you get any worse.
Yeah, quit while you're alive.
Yeah,
I'll say that. While you have some things. So the bunker placement, I do like it back here from Sodsax. I do wish he would clear out the neutral depot, though, so then he could wall it in for himself.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing they do on this map. It's nice and tucked in there. When roaches come, I'm really sad.
Yeah.
But banelings, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's my least favorite part of this map as a Zerg player. So third base being taken now by Zictomini. Around a pretty standard time. He grabbed it about 45 supply right there. So after does he have 4 queens? Yep. So the typical 4-queen opener into the third, around 42 to 45 supply. Very, very standard play thus far. Going to be grabbing his gases right now, teching up to lair. Pretty soon, I would imagine. No, he's trying to make more queens instead.
I think he's waiting for the scout. He's scouting right now with his overlord, suiciding it in. He's going to see the starport and the tech lab on the barracks, so he knows what's coming.
Right. And he didn't even have the gas for lair anyways, so I was just lying.
Well, he should have it soon, so I imagine, as soon as these queens are done, he's gonna get it. He's gonna want an overseer in case that cloak comes into effect.
Sure, but at that time, also, by the time those hit, you should simply have spore crawlers and queens to deal with that, and that generally is enough to deal with the cloak. Every now and then they can pick at, like an extractor, or try and pick off like a queen somewhere or something. But for the most part,
like the creep.
Yes, the creep.
Being out in the because when you know the bases are pretty much covered with the spores, then you start saying, all right, well, at least I'm going to deny your creep for a long time. So having an overseer and those additional 4 queens now, I guess, at the front, it you're saying completely shuts it down. The Terran player is like, what do I do?
Yeah, so he's trying to run around with some Hellions here, do some damage. There's no speed yet. Speed is going to be extremely late right here, and this is why a lot of Zerg players will actually grab a quick gas early. So they'll go for They'll go for the 4 queen opener, stuff like that, but they'll grab a gas, like 1 gas at 27, just so they can get that 100 gas for speed, so they can deal with things like this. But it looks like he's going to opt to just try and stick around with queens, and the Hellions are going to try and run by and pick off some tumors right there.
Yeah, the scan was actually officially wasted.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he could have gotten those, without it. But, say la vie, he tried. The Banshee is coming in right now. It's actually going to get some drone kills. A queen just popped, but Cloak is just about to finish. So he should be able to get, like 4 maybe.
I'd imagine something around there. We'll see. And
It's
the
actually
queen.
taking out the queen
Yep.
first.
Well,
So.
queen's going to go ahead and go down, and not a bad choice.
So only like 1 or 2, I guess.
And he's just going to lose it right there.
Yeah, that
So-
was actually pretty poor. He could have cloaked, but
Yeah, a little bit of poor micro right there by Sodsax. Was busy microing around the Hellions instead. But in the meantime, back home, he's taking a third base. He's getting an orbital. So, he's still not in a terrible position in this game right here. Wasn't able to do much damage with the harass. Everything was shut down. No Hellions tried to run by, which I would say is probably the most surprising thing. Because a lot of times with 6 Hellions, just run those babies into the natural and fry up some drones.
yeah, now he has roaches and lings, but like a minute ago he definitely didn't, or
Exactly.
even 30 seconds ago. So yeah, definitely would have liked to seen that. He did stop at 2 Banshees. I kind of wish that in that case that he didn't get Cloak, but unfortunately that's how it is. And he is going to go ahead and go up to just a bio style of play.
Yep, so just a Marine tank medevac sort of style, which has been around for a long time and still remains to be extremely strong. As long as you can just get your tank sieged up. If caught out of position, though, it can be brutal. So we'll have to see how exactly it works out. And it looks like Zictomini just going to completely allow for this third base to go down here of Sodsex. So no pressure.
Yeah, he doesn't really seem to care at all. He's getting his infestors and he's getting high very, very early. So he's banking on the Terran player being a little more passive, at least for a little longer. And what did I want to mention? Shoot. I don't remember, but I'll think of it later. He is trapped behind his own supply depots, which is kind of weird. His tank anyways. But he's already adding in Marauders to the mix. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Actually, where his Hellions are, it's a good indication. Tanks sieged right there. 4GG really showcased some really great positioning with tanks on this map right there.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something he could have in mind for later.
Sure, but he's going to have to get there before the creep does. And that's going to be the deadly thing. And there we go. Finally going to try and start denying it. But, I mean, Zictomini has been amazing in his creep spread this game. Already halfway across the map. And it's going to be really tough now for Sodsax to push over there. 4th base going up. And what I do love is at this 3rd base here. This little, of Zictomini, the little double spore spine right there. Beautiful, beautiful, because that's exactly where Terran players are just going to queue up a drop and forget about it. And by the time they get there, it's going to be completely killed off.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the Banshee has cloaked and gotten away. I wish he had been used a little bit more for that killing of the creep spread. As you said, it's pretty out there.
Yeah.
And we do already have an Ultras Cavern on the way, as well as a Baneling's Nest. That's a really late Baneling's Nest. I didn't even notice that he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes earlier, but yeah.
I mean, I think he was just completely content with exactly what he had. He felt fine.
Yeah.
He got in to the base. He saw that there was going to be Hellions and then Banshees coming out, so he knew there wasn't going to be any sort of Marine Marauder or just Marine pressure, really, for the most part, early on that he'd really need the Banelings for. So, you know what? Delay it as long as you want. Get more drones, and especially at this level, if you can get out a few more drones here and there, a few more things like that, that's how you gain your advantages and gain your leads in these games.
Yeah, really nice point. I do really like that Sodsax has some nice production going on in his main. He has 2 factories up, which is really going to help against those Ultralists, because that is going to be the tech of choice.
Yep.
I don't think Sodsax knows about it, though, so he is already starting to get a few Marauders, but once he scouts that, he's going to want to add on some more tech labs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I was worried with all the reactors that have gone down, as it is purely reactor now on all of his barracks. He went ahead and added more, so he is sticking to these Marines, and he's going to be a little bit disappointed when he gets over there and all of a sudden a bunch of Ultras pop out. 3 on the way, and I'm not sure if a couple have been made. They do have a decently long build time, so...
No, I think those are the first 3 that are being made. He's making an additional 2, though,
Yep.
so he's going to go up to about 5. Can't do math. He did try and catch a drop, but he actually missed it. But that drop is going right where those spores and spines are, so.
So that's definitely not going to be able to go down. And look at Sodsax. He's pushing out and saying, "Are you kidding me? Look at this creep. It's almost into his base at this point. He's about to just crawl it up. And now it looks like Sodsax is going to go ahead and do a drop at the fourth. It will be cleaned up quickly, though. And will he be able to just pull it up? It looks like it's just going to be easily cleaned up with the infestors. And down goes the ship as well, the medevac. Called it a ship.
We did actually, I think he took out a fifth over at the right.
Yes, he did. Good
Yeah,
call.
so
With
that was
what?
nice.
I never even saw it. Oh, looks like a drop. Yep, there was a drop over there. So nicely done. At least able to get one base down, which is good. You don't want to be against 3 versus 5 base. 3 versus 4 is a lot more comfortable as a Terran. And now he's just kind of slowly trying to push back this creep to find a good engage position. But Zictomini is full on supply at this point, and so he might start trying to make something happen. He's already going to get some free
Oh.
lings right there.
What is Sotsax doing? He's getting 2 Thors.
I am not sure what
That's
he
not
is.
gonna help.
No, it is not. And it looks like here we're going to see Zictomini start to push forward. He's going to drop some fungal growths all over the Marines, which tried to split up but still got fungal growths. Everything is going to continue pushing forward, and Zictomini
Oh my
is going to
gosh.
just move right into the third base. And Sodsax just finds it funny, and Gigi's out of the game right there. So Zictomini going to take game number 3. Very, very impressive. And I'm going to try and not crash the screen as I get out of this. Did we drop it? Are we good? Did we not drop the stream? I don't think we did. I think we're still in a good position.
I don't know.
Wrong in game. You keep... That's the one you sent me. Go to the UR in-game overlay. You are killing me right here.
In-game.
I'm using the overlay. The one you sent, right? Oh, did I? Oh, jeez. My bad. My bad, everybody. Uh-oh. Alright, and game number 4. This is, I mean, this could be the last game right here. I don't know. Are they going to have somebody? Do they have their ace, possibly? It looks like Kaz Kek is going to be who they're sending out. So we're going to have to go ahead and bump Zictomini up. 3 wins right there. He's going for the all-kill. He's trying to get that, the 4 points for his team right there. And let's go ahead and update this in the title as well. 3? Yep. So 3-0 for Western Wolves thus far, with their leading player Zictomini, who has just been such a dominant Zerg. ZVP, ZVZ, and ZVT thus far. And what do they have left? It looks like they're going to be sending out Kazkek, the Protoss player. And hopefully he can gain some sort of advantage. Maybe he'll gain the advantage from his Origin PC. Top of the line custom gaming PCs. Go ahead and order yourself one now. And I will try and use the correct in-game screen in the future. I do apologize for that. This is URTL. Just an FYI. Let's see. And we have to update the names. Kazkek. Oops, I just left it as IGS. That last game too. That was... Huh. Wait, so the last game I did have the correct overlay, you're saying. That was just game 2. Okay, that was game 3 last game. Got it. And the map is going to be Cloud Kingdom. And let's see. It is... Cloud Kingdom. Everything looks good right there. I think we're set to go into the game, yeah? How's it looking
I'm
on
ready.
your end? You ready?
Yep.
Cool. There we go. That's the correct one. So, if you go to Xander Fever TV/vote, xanderfever.tv/vote. You can go ahead and vote for whoever you think is going to win this game. This is game 4 right here. Zictomini doing extremely well thus far, as he has already put himself in a comfortable position right here, at least his team in a comfortable position, as he's up 3-0 thus far. So possible game 4, it's match point right here. Will Zictomini be able to do it? Will he be able to seal the win for his team? You ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, go. So, spawning up in the top right corner is Zictomini, the green Zerg player from Western Wolves. And he's going to be going against KoTH, the lone hope right now for Team Born Gosu. And he's the pink Protoss spawning down in the bottom left corner. Any predictions on this match?
Well, Zictomini's been looking pretty strong, and now he has momentum with him, so I'm gonna have to go with Zictomini here.
And I am going to have to change the names around. There we go. Now it looks better. Thank you very much, chat. Whoever it was in the chat, let me check. You're abstract. You're abstract. There you go. Thank you. And is it? Yeah, okay, it's running faster. For a second, it looked like it was running really slowly. I wasn't sure what was going on. So it looks like KoTH just going to be going for the Forge Fast Expand, typical opener for Protoss in this current metagame. Though I have seen Gate Expand start to make a comeback somewhat. There's definitely been a few players that have they don't like the Forge Fast Expand. They don't like the fact that Zerg gets that easy 3 bases, and so they've started to just Gate Expand and keep their opponent a little bit worried.
Yeah, it's always really interesting to see it and really fun just to change things up a little bit, but a lot of players, you know, that aren't tip-top level are very hesitant to try and do something that new. So, unfortunately, you don't see it in a lot of clan wars that aren't, you know, professional teams. But, you know, COD Kingdom's also been seeing a lot of Stargate play.
True.
Yeah, and I wonder if KoTH is going to do any of that. It's really interesting to watch the micro, but it can be a little hard to pull off since Zerg have kind of figured it out, know how to defend against it more. It's really up to the Protoss to have some pretty good decision-making in using that Stargate play.
Right. And I mean, the Stargate play, while it's great for the damage it can do, is really there to go ahead and grab that third base, especially on Cloud Kingdom with such a small ramp going into your third, always kind of having that high ground advantage right there. Really, it's easy to just use the Stargate to set up that third, get out a few sentries, and then you kind of you can wall off at your third base and force the Zerg into a strange position where if they try and do some roachling aggression, nothing is able to really come out of it.
Right, yeah, and everyone's been falling off that natural nowadays.
Yep.
Remember back when they didn't do that, when I was Zerg and I just run right up there? Those are the days.
And are we going
anyways.
to see... it looks like he may go for an additional block right here. Is he going to drop a Gateway or Cybernetics Core, whatever it is, over here as well to be annoying? Possibly. He's leaving the probe here.
I guess he's just trying to buy as much time as possible by getting the pull off.
Very possible, yeah. He's not going to be throwing it up, it looks like. So, a drone now heading down for Zictomini, and he'll just go ahead and drop that hatchery, and this probe will go down.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch it, so he wasn't able to pull it back in time. Just a quick surround, and it is gone. It does know that, you know, at least one expansion went down. I'm not sure if he saw the...
He saw all 3, yep.
Okay, he did. Alright, so that one got down despite his harass over there, because he was actually doing a pretty nice job of denying both bases for at least a little while longer as Zictomini.
Very true. And he was also able to at least... I don't know, I was going to say he was able to get a scout, but we just kind of talked about that. Yeah, so good to get a scout, unlike his first Protoss opponent, or the first Protoss player. Who was it? I'm terrible with the names, apparently. So the first Protoss player that Zictomini did take down of Born Gosu, where he just completely disregarded any scouting information on the additional bases until he did go for that 4-gate pressure a little bit later.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder, I doubt we're going to see some 4-gate pressure. Well, I take that back, actually. It still could be, you know, teammates always do, you know, they have similar styles and similar plays, but he also did see his teammate just get owned hard when he tried to do it, so maybe not.
And the nice thing about Cloud Kingdom, at the very least, is that the third gas is hidden right here. And so you can kind of try and play mind games. If you can either opt to not take the gas over by the Overlord that can be seen, and make him wonder if you're going for just 2 gas or a 3rd gas. Thus, is he going for a 4-gate, 5-gate, or standard play? Or you can take this gas over here and make him wonder if you're going for 4 gas, in which case he could be worried about a Mortal Sentry all-in, he could be worried about double Stargate, anything like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of, that's definitely something that you can play around with as a Protoss, and it looks like he's going to take that inner gas right here, and possibly just hope that Zictomini has to prepare with some Zerglings, just in the case that there is a 4-gate.
Yeah, this is the map where Genius versus Dongagu. Genius actually faked him out with that gas.
Yep.
And that was, I think, the one map that he won.
Exactly.
But we do see a Stargate coming out from Kazakh, so I called it.
Yep.
No worries.
Well
But that's just
done.
so popular in Cloud Kingdom nowadays.
It is. No, whenever I play ZVP Cloud Kingdom, good chance that they're going to go Stargate. I can pretty much guarantee it about 70% of the time, I feel like.
I can honestly say that I'm really glad I don't have these worries as a Zerg anymore. I feel like those are just so much worse. Void Rays? Oh god, GG.
Yeah. What are
it's
your
pretty
Terran
good.
worries?
Oh, that's a
Uh-oh.
good question.
Uh-oh. Fleet Beacon.
I have no worries, I'm pretty good.
Fleet Beacon going down.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my god. I clicked on it and I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, probably a
pretty big.
Gateway, probably a Twilight Council. Well, not
Oh my
Twilight.
god.
Probably
You know
another
what
cage.
though? I used to be in a clan with this guy and... Wait, was it Oryx? Oh my god, I can't remember. I'm sorry if you're in the chat and I don't remember it was you. But it was a Protoss player, and he had this really unique PvZ style where he just got a mothership really, really quick. It went like mass charge on Archons, and actually won somehow. And it was actually like, it led up to a macro game. It wasn't like a funny haha. So it may be his plan. He might be feeling like, oh, I'm up in Zictomini, I'm gonna die anyways. I don't know.
It sounds interesting. And as we can see, all 4 gases have been taken, and there's the second Stargate that I was talking about before.
Yeah.
So, looks like he's going to be going for heavy airplay. And is he just going to try and secure a 3rd behind this Void Ray / is he getting a Phoenix? Or no, another Void Ray. A lot of times you'll see just one Void Ray and then Phoenix behind it. And here you can see Zictomini reacting as if there's a 3rd, because when you see Stargate play, a lot of times you'll see that 3rd go down. And he's going to run over here and say, wait, there's no 3rd base going up. What's going on?
Yeah, it's going to be, well, actually, it's going to be a little difficult to go ahead and get any scouting going on. Stargate openings do lend themselves to denying scouts fairly easily. The only way he's really going to be able to see is if Kazakh messes up with his Overlord killing, or if he somehow breaks the front and gets in.
Right, and is he even going to try? It looks like yes, he will, so he's going to go ahead and focus that down. Kills off the Zealot. Force field will go up, though, of course, preventing too much from getting in. He's going to try and take out the pylon, though, as well, and 2 Void Rays over there can just charge up on these roaches, and this pressure is easily going to be denied. So well done by Kazakh, and that's the typical roachling pressure that you will see from a Zerg player right there when they see that Stargate, because it's just it's just a great way to try and deny it, get over there in time to really just kind of stop it before they can do anything.
Yeah, and he was really, really intent on trying to get in there. I really wondered if he was thinking, like, I need to get a scout, or he just said, whatever, I really want to kill that pylon. I don't know, but that centered a lot of energy, so it seemed a little...
Very true, and look at this, even more roaches streaming out across the map right now.
Oh, well,
I'm not sure I like this move, though, considering there's 3 Void Rays just sitting right above, and while they're... If it was mass lings, I suppose you wouldn't be able to get in with the sentries then. But mass lings do some damage there. But with these sentries and Void Rays, he could just charge up and really start doing some damage. Force fields will go down. He's going to try and pick off some stuff, pick off the forge. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough with all these force fields right here, or if he's just going to lose all this, and Kazakh's going to easily be able to hold that off. And did he see the mothership?
Maybe I
don't think he did.
I think he did.
Do you think he did? I don't think he did.
I think he saw the cloak, and he was like, "Whoa."
Possible. It was close.
I don't know.
It was very close. So regardless, Zictomini moving now into the infestors, popping out. Gonna keep droning.
You usually don't see that much pressure. That was really forceful. 3 Void Rays with those roaches, I would have been like, nah, I'm good.
Right.
But he was really trying to get in there. I mean, do you think he was trying to force him to play his cards, to be like, look, show me what you got, because I don't know what you got?
That sounds like it could be right. I mean, I'm not exactly sure of that move right there. Personally, I would have just chilled at home, probably teched up a little bit more,
Yeah.
made an overseer with that overlord down there by the main that's now scouting over to the third and is going to try and drop some more creep. So I would have just tried to like move over there and kind of, do something, check out exactly what's going on in his base, see the double Stargate and then be like, oh, okay, double Stargate. But no, instead he opted to go for the 30 roaches approach. But now he has all these roaches which he can continue to try and deny this third base as well as infestors. So
Well, yeah, the problem. Yeah. Oh.
now it's definitely going to be scary as they are burrowed infestors.
Yeah. And no observer.
And there is no observer anywhere on the map. So will he see these? I'm not sure.
Oh,
He's going to see everything else. And infested Terrans maybe going to be
Oh, he
spewed
sees
out.
them.
I'm not sure he will.
But they leave, so it doesn't quite work.
And I mean, there was no reason to really throw anything out at that point. There's 8 Void Rays
Yeah.
in that army. He just needs to be careful not to get in range of this cannon right here. And it looks like he will be able to make it out with those infestors. So just barely able to escape. However, more lings and roaches now added on. And is he going to push in right here? The Void Rays and Mothership are out of position. So that third base could be sniped very quickly right there. And that would be terrible for Kazkek, as Zictomini is already up on 4 bases, making a 5th at this point. And his hive is just finished.
Yeah, and well, it's really hard with this style. Like keeping on 2 bases as Protoss with this composition, it's all right. You just force fill it and you say, all right, I'm in my base. But going out to where it's harder to force fill it off, it's going to be more and more difficult for Kazkek to actually, take on that, ever maxing Zerg army that's going to be thrown at him constantly. And
Right.
now with 10 corruptors on the field, or coming out anyways, it's going to be so difficult.
And 8 overseers. He wants to make sure that he sees this army. There's a good chance that he will. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's a lot of overseers. But yeah, no, with all these corruptors that he's now making, and he's gonna go ahead and start pushing in towards the third right now with his army. The infestor's still burrowed for some reason. He's just going to go straight for the third right here. With detection, it's not going to matter. It's going to fall. And then he can just back out. And that's the difficulty. He's able to actually trap a decent amount of units right there. So, decently done, but the third base still goes down. And now we have 5 base versus 2 base. And Kazkek needs something to happen right now for him. Otherwise, he's just going to be in a lot of trouble if more corruptors pop out. Because once you get a certain number of corruptors right there, it can just one-shot every single Void Ray. Take a couple shots, take out the mothership, and really just put yourself in a terrible position.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really what exactly do you think he was gonna do here? Like, this early of a mothership with Void Rays, it really relies on a surprise factor,
Right.
or you're in a 4v4 as bronzies, like, either one. But he knows that he's not on one, so I'm surprised he didn't try and move out at some point. He's trying to play it like a regular PvZ, and Zictomini just like, all right,
Yeah.
let me build some corruptors then, and
Yeah,
that's it.
the lack... I mean, this style does work somewhat. If you get carriers behind it especially, definitely can work.
Well, yeah.
But you need to get that third base up. You can't just be on 2 bases for that long. And I mean, Zictomini's like, alright, I'm going to keep throwing down hatches at this point and just keep chilling. And look at how many corruptors he has. He already has 22 corruptors, 6 more on the way. I mean, he's just in a great position where he can just walk in, snipe the mothership, which does have energy for a vortex, though. And a recall if he'd like, or 2 vortex. Whatever he really chooses at this point. But Zictomini, just in a great position, can just keep making whatever he wants at this point. And with 85 drones, he will easily start banking up pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's gonna have a wonderful bank by the time this fight is over. And here we go for the initial fight, and it goes down immediately, but it does get 1 vortex off at least. He just pulls back.
Yeah, so that's going to fall down, and I mean, Zictomini has no point to engage anything really right now. It looks like a little Archon Toilet is going down. Some force fields do go off to prevent stuff from going in there. Are any infested Terrans going to be thrown in? Yes, there they will go. So the infested Terrans now going to pop out. A lot of these corruptors, it looks like, are going to fall. Actually, no, not enough Archons to really focus them down and do enough damage. And it looks like there's going to be engaged now as Zictomini pushes forward. A lot of Zealots right there are going to get fungal growth, though. And it looks like, I'm not sure how that actually went. I mean, it looks like Kazkek actually came out ahead in that battle. Sure, he lost all of his Void Rays, and he lost his mothership. So that was not favorable, and he lost his Archons too, but he's still, I feel like he's in a better position after that. However, now we see that Zictomini can just start massing up a ton of Broodlords if he wants, since his Greater Spire has finished. But instead, he's just going to go for a giant mass Ling, and there we go. Broodlords are being made, so now he's going to just max up really quick, and I would imagine push over. And once again, please look at the creep spread of this map.
It's pretty impressive. It's actually the map.
It is the map. The map is purple. That's just... I was taking it to be the ground for a long time. I just kind of ignored the fact that it was creep. I was like, oh yeah, that's what's supposed to be there. And now mass spine crawlers are going to be built right here down in the front, and probably just push forward with that if he wants. He's got over half the map taken. 7 bases are up, right? Yep.
Right. And, well, you know, now that all the tech is gone, he can just go back in the regular PvZ. Like, all the Votary's gone, alright, all the Broodlords come in, and
Yep.
the Mothership will not have energy in time for this attack, and it is coming right now, and everything's just gonna die to Fungals.
Exactly, and there's no Blink Stalkers or anything to deal
Ugh.
with these Broodlords at this point. So Fungal Growth's going to grab all those Zealots right there. The Ling's going to get around the Broodlords as well. He's going to Neural Parasite one of the Archons just for a little bit of fun right there. And now he's going to push in and say, you know what? I want this. I want this all kill. Because he's won the past 3. This is it. If he wins this, it's over right here, and it's looking good. Looks like some Blink Stalkers have been made. He's going to try and deal with this. Ling's going to now push in. He's completely going after this third base. He's neuraled the Mothership right here, and the Stalkers, and everything's going to go down as Zictomini just marches forward, takes out the third base pretty much right now. There's nothing left over at this third base. The army of Kazkek has fallen, and that's it. GG. Zictomini able to take this 4-0. Very, very impressive right there. And we are going to try and